After leaving Royler's home, he takes me to his main academy, just in time for the afternoon class, along with two of his top students, Reges Lebre and Johnny Faria. So Reges, how long have you known Royler?
I know Royler has been 19 years, around 19, but going to be 20 years in the end of the year.
So you trained with him in Brazil and now in America?
I always trained for him. I started training in a small gym close off my house for 6 months. And then it was a small gym, so I ended up going to Gracie Academy in Fortaleza, which was Eduardo Rocha was his instructor at the time, like representative of Gracie Humaita. Then I moved to Rio I came to Rio for a competition. I met Royler, and ever since saw he teaching, he gave me a lot of attention. Then I decided to move, and ever since I stayed for him the whole time.
What was it that attracted you to Royler originally and keeps you with him for so many years?
He's a truly champ, you know. He is a truly champ, not just champion who's winning a medal. He's always a happy guy, very positive, very technical. He works very hard. He always emphasized the hard work, the technique. Always was fair, you know. He's the kind of guy who never used strength. He's a heavy, you know. He's a small guy, so he always encouraged me, incentivized me to be technical as much as I could. Never save in train. He's a good role model, you know, like eat well, sleep early, wake up early, train a lot, never save it, never brag, always train.
Royler has a reputation of eating really healthy and just being a wholesome, healthy guy. But some people have that image, but behind the closed doors, they're different. How is Royler?
Royler is he's strict. I mean, the worst I see Royler do is once in a while have a coffee. I don't see he drink nothing besides juice, water. Eat very light. He always respect the diet. Seems like he's trained for Mundial the whole year, you know. I thought he would get lighter after he get older, but still take care of himself. Always the first one to get in the gym, the last one to leave.
At Gracie Humaita, it seems like Royler emphasizes self-defense, sport jiu-jitsu, and also MMA. Is that how you see it?
Yeah, I mean, as soon as I get in the gym, Royler always emphasize like, well, if you're gonna compete, fine, do the best you can do. But you gotta learn. You came to just to learn self-defense, protect yourself. Make sure you know how to protect yourself. Make sure you know the difference between fight and self-defense. Compete and protect yourself, self-defense. So this all walk separate. So the Gracie Humaita self-defense program made by Gracie is very strong in the academy. He's not forcing us to do, but he always be on top of us. But everybody knows Royler was famous for being a good competitor, so he still do a little bit of all, but always never forget the self-defense.
What's the most important thing you've learned from Royler over these 19 years?
Royler taught me a lot of good stuff. He taught me how to work hard, how to be fair, how to be honest on the mat. You know, like, some people, they go train, they just see when they win, they submit. Royler always taught me, oh, did you win? But did you see the mistakes you did before? He always tried to teach me how to be fair. I remember always before competition, because competition when you say, okay, I'm gonna do it. If he say he's gonna do it, he's gonna fully commit. So man, he take care of himself from the very little detail for the big one. So he always prepare for that. Show he has respect for whatever he commit with. He showed me how to have respect for the fight. He showed me how to work hard, how to appreciate my partners, how to take care of them, how to love jiu-jitsu without thinking about what jiu-jitsu can give me. So I think his father taught that to him, and he passed to us in a nice way.
No matter what happened, I'm between his legs. If I'm on top, my hand's always gonna be in his bicep. That's the first defense. And for him, is on the bottom, the first reaction for him, his hand's gonna come under and go to my biceps. Who got the hands on top, got a good defense. It's simple like that. If I'm on top, I have the defense, and then I have a time to strike, punch, whatever I want. For him, it's the same way. If he's on top, he have a time to slap in my face and go back, bang, in defense again. Okay, the deal is, it doesn't matter what what position I am. We're gonna play a little bit for 30 seconds. See if I can keep my hands on top of his biceps. And he's gonna switch, boom, right there, and then I'm gonna, exactly, see who's gonna, yes. Okay, it's gonna be a little tight for the guy in the bottom, right? It's a happen sometimes because he can use his body and put his body on top to you here, and it starts to be hard for you to go under. What you're gonna do, you're gonna open your legs and pump your hands inside you. You're gonna use, again, you're gonna put your feet on the floor. Fica perto, close. Yes, it's too tight. I'm gonna put my feet on the floor. My hands gonna go like in the same time I bump and put my hands inside again. I bump and block again. And he needs to do the same thing. He's gonna go here, and then we go back and forth. That's what we're gonna fight. And little by little, I can use my knees inside, slap, and he's gonna do the same thing. If he's on top, he can slap my face. Boom. Let's see who's got the advantage.
I can slap my partner?
No.
Oh.
Not today. Oh, okay. Let's get it on. Let's go.
So Johnny, how long have you been training with Royler?
Man, it's been... I trained to Royler back before in Brazil, but I was living in São Paulo, so it wasn't like all the time. But since I moved to America, I have been training with him like pretty much 8 years straight, you know, have been with his guidance. So it's been like a blast for me, you know what I mean? It's like a dream come true, you know what I mean? I'm really happy about that.
What is it that you like so much about training with Royler?
I like the details that he shows and how he, you know, like people in those days, he come with a lot of different positions and crazy positions. And like yesterday, I was training with him, and then I show like a new position that the kids are doing, and then he showed like a very simple way to break down the position. You know what I mean? Like everybody goes crazy and doing fancy stuff, and he did a very simple thing, and you know, it was great, you know, and I never thought about that, and that's what the thing that I like about Royler, you know what I mean? Sometimes he come with simple things to, you know, kill like those crazy, you know, like guards and stuff, you know, so I like this about him, the details, and just be around him, you know, he's a great person, not only inside of the mats, but outside of the mats, you know, and I learn a lot with him, you know.
He focuses on self-defense, maybe a little bit more than a lot of other schools. How important is self-defense to you in your jiu-jitsu?
Since I started jiu-jitsu, you know, I come from Gracie school, so we learn self-defense since the start, you know. I think it's very important. Those days, people, I know world champions, they very good, and they know a bunch of stuff, but they don't know how to get out from a headlock, you know. And I think if you're a jiu-jitsu guy, you gotta know both, you know what I mean? Most of the people, when they start jiu-jitsu, back on my time at least, you know, they start jiu-jitsu because they want to learn how to defend themselves. They don't start jiu-jitsu because they want to learn the beating ball or whatever, you know what I mean? So I think self-defense is a big part of jiu-jitsu, and I think if you don't know about self-defense, you're gonna be behind, you know. At the same time, if you just focus in self-defense, you gotta know a little bit of both, you know what I mean? And it's fun, you know, competition is awesome, self-defense is awesome too, you know, a lot of stuff that you do in competition you're not gonna use in the street, so you gotta know the difference, you know what I mean?
What is one thing that most people might not know about Royler?
He's a very caring person, he's very funny, man. It's funny because he's all day like, you know, like, make jokes with you, you know, you say something wrong, he's already making jokes with you, so he's a very funny guy, you know. People may see just him in videos and stuff, he's always serious, but Royler, man, he's super funny, you know, like, I laugh a lot with him.
You need to put in the perspective. You fight someone in the street, he don't know to fight too much. He don't know how to control, how to sweep, how to choke. He know how to throw a punch. If he go on top to you, he's gonna land a punch. If you not be able to defend yourself, you try to choke him, he's gonna land a punch. If you try to grab the arm, he's gonna land a punch. The first drill is make sure you block the biceps and see how far you're gonna go. It's the same thing. If I'm on top, my idea is not try to throw a punch on him, try to make sure he don't throw a punch on me. And then I can be stand up, then I throw one punch, making him block, then I go from here, and then I pass. Okay, that's gonna be the next step. I'm on top, I'm blocking him, right? I'm gonna use that, stand up. He's still the legs crossed, one hand's gonna come to the neck, throw a punch. The time I throw a punch is a natural for him. Block and open the leg. He block himself. As soon as he block, I'm gonna pop that way. My both hands gonna come in here. Side, boom, and control. One more time. We go from here, block, boom. One hand, throw a punch, pop, both hands, side, and control. Let's do this 3 times each one and switch. Let's go.
After working up a good sweat on the mats, it's time to check out Royler's favorite local lunch spot.
Royler, let's talk about competition for a moment. Was competing something that you ever chose to do, or were you pushed into it, or was it just a natural thing?
Well, it's born in the family I'm born. It's impossible, you know. We not compete. We already compete each other. Actually, the time we were born, we already compete, right? It's try to be the first one. And it's not being different in the family. My father always, in a nice way, he tried to push us to the competition, make us, you know, go for the next level.
I know I've learned a lot from competition, and I'm sure you have too. What do you say to the student that doesn't want to compete? Do you try to push them to compete?
No, never. And in my mind, the competition, it's one part which is the martial art, you know. I think it's the more important thing. You enjoy, you having a good time, you know. You make some friends, you make jokes, you feel comfortable in everything, every time you be in the school. That's the most important thing. Competition, the ones they like to be involved in the competition, okay, let's get it on. But make sure you be prepared. And that's the main thing, you know.
You also had quite a few MMA fights. Why did you choose to compete in MMA?
Well, we don't choose, you know. It's natural for every athlete, like a jiu-jitsu guy, it's a sport. Sooner or later, he's gonna hit the MMA. And MMA, where's the money coming from? With all, you know, people say, I love to fight in MMA. No, I don't believe that. I believe people like the money being involved in MMA. It's a completely different. Jiu-jitsu is a sport, is amateur. MMA is something give you money, you know, and then especially if you're good, you make a good money. And that's the people, most of the people, they compete in jiu-jitsu, be a world champion, and next step, be in MMA, because they're gonna make money.
After you competed in MMA, when you went back to jiu-jitsu, did anything change in your perspective?
No, you know why? Because I never give up from jiu-jitsu. I'm always stay with the jiu-jitsu, like a competition, you know, is in the fundamental and the basic stuff. I'm always be with them, you know. I never say, okay, I'm gonna be MMA and then I'm gonna be an MMA guy. No, I compete a couple times in MMA and then I'm always coming back to the school the next day, use my gi, feel comfortable, you know, enjoy, you know, like everybody else.
There's not a lot of guys at your age, 48 years old, that are still competing, but you still are. You had a match with Eddie Bravo recently at Metamoris. After that match, how did you feel? It was a tie, but did you feel any animosity towards him or a desire to have another rematch?
Well, I know I'm not the champion in the world today, and then I'm not trying to be the world champion today, you know. I know what I do for the sport. I have a beautiful career, and then I really like what I do for the sport. And today is only for fun, to having a good time, you know. And of course, time is changing my life, you know. And the people's knocking my door and say, "Hey, you like to fight?" I like to fight, but we need to have some money involved, you know. Like I say, the prospect changed, you know. My life changed, and for me to stop what I do, to be a fighter again or to fight with someone, we need to make some money, and then I need to prepare myself. It's not like before, you know, it's kind of little kids. Okay, anytime they call me, I'm there the next day, you know. And like you say, you know, next year I'm gonna be 50, man. I'm so proud to do what I do for the sport, you know, and people's look at my fight and say, oh my God, you know. I have a friend, he say his wife watched the fight in the TV, and she see all the fights and say, man, the fight's boring, you know. I'm sorry, Royler, to tell you this, but the time your fight's start, she jump in the chair and then say, oh my God, oh, I can't believe it, oh. And that's as I like, you know. I bring the peoples to the sport, because it's good to see the other guys on the other side of the TV, see action, see the movement, you know. And that's this kind of thing. Sometimes I'm bored to watch a fight. and then nobody do nothing, man. You know, and that's what I think me and Eddie Bravo show in the day, and then I was really proud for that. I'm glad. I don't know I'm gonna do another one. If they knock on my door, let's see. I come with the number, and then they put the zeros.
In your lifetime, we've seen a huge growth in jiu-jitsu, especially in the past 10 years. The number of competitors at IBJJF tournaments has grown a lot, and the other events have grown a lot. There's been a lot more super fights like Menor Morris, ADCC has grown. What's your point of view on the growth of jiu-jitsu these days?
Well, I don't think myself and my father, you know, believe in, everyone started training jiu-jitsu back in the 30 years, 20 years ago, 40 years and 45 years like I start training. Would not believe how jiu-jitsu is gonna be so big today. It's all over the world, you know. You be country to country, and the people sometimes, you know, stop in the customer in New Zealand, and the people look at you and, you a Royler? And then you scare for a minute and say, yes, I got your book. Oh my God, that's good. You know, it's amazing how this go all over. And I think it's gonna grow more and more. I hope it is grow like organized. And that's the only thing I'm proud, you know, I like to see. Is the IBJJF do a big step, you know, and I heard Rickson start to work in some confederation. I hope it's gonna be good for the sport, but organized. If we don't see something organized, it's really bad. Like we do it 30 years ago, you know. I used to fight back then. We show up in the stadium, and it's not even have a match. And the people start to put the match right away, you know, and then, okay, you're gonna fight maybe in 2 hours, and then it's taking 2-3 hours to put the match, to put everything together. You know, the time is changing. You know, it's much more professional, but I hope it's gonna be more and more. That's what we're looking for.
Whether you and your family have already accomplished so much in the martial arts world, bringing jiu-jitsu from Brazil to America, but what do you as an individual want to be remembered for? What's your legacy going to be?
Well, it's impossible, you know, you're talking about jiu-jitsu, you don't remember the Gracie name, of course, but before the Gracie name, the two individual person, it's more important in the whole jiu-jitsu community. We call Carlos Gracie and Helio Gracie. If these guys did not exist, I don't think we sit here today and we're talking about jiu-jitsu. You know how fanatic and how believe in everything, you know, it's going to be true. And that's amazing. It's another day I see Horion, you know, as my old brother. You know, he teach a seminar for us. And then it's amazing, you know, he's talking about the diet. And then he say, I'm gonna ask something for you guys. What do you prefer, to be a world champion or to have a really good diet? In my mind, right away I say, I prefer to be a world champion. But I'm wrong. If I don't have the good diet, I'm never gonna be the world champion. And exactly the point he tried to make everybody understand, you know, the time he talking about the diet. If Carlos Gracie, with this vision in jiu-jitsu and his vision in the diet, one more time, we're not gonna sit here today. And of course, right after Helio take over and, you know, challenge and make jiu-jitsu be so big, you know, because he's so small, skinny guy. And the people need to believe, you know, that's the technique, that's his improvement, you know, this is jiu-jitsu is. Yeah, these two guys we can't forget to talking about, you know, Carlos Gracie and Helio Gracie. That's the man's remind for all the time. Yeah.
Do you feel like you have fulfilled your duties as the son of such a legendary figure?
Oh yeah, man, what a big accomplishment, you know. You know, to born in the family I born, to be the son with the grandmaster is something, it's amazing. You know, I'm always, every day I pray and say, hey, thank you God to give me the opportunity, you know, to have everything I have. you know, to have the access, the technique, you know, to be with the best guys in the world, learning from the best, you know, it's amazing. And one little detail, never put the pressure to be, you know, to be a fighter. And that's amazing thing, you know. My father actually is the first time, I always say this, you know, it's good to remind because people say, I can't believe, you know, it's first time I compete. I remember it's kind of looks like today, you know, it's kind of 6 years old. It's the kind of time you don't like to lose, you know. And back then, is everybody, all the brothers got the gold medal, and then I got the silver. But before we left the house to the tournament, my father said, you know, who's lose today, I gonna pay more money. And then we don't understand, what, we pay more if you lose? Well, because we know nobody likes to lose in nothing, you know. Lose is something, it's not a part of the game. But at least I got back in home in the day and my brothers got $10 and then I got $20. I got more money than everybody, you know. That's at least give me more, you know, make me feel comfortable and keep doing what I like to do, you know. It's not, you know, I see some fathers today watch the kids compete. The time they lose, why you don't do this, why you don't do that? You know, it's a frustrate because they becoming, looks like they change the position, you know. They like to be the kid, but hey, leave the kid, live his life, you know. And that's my father do, perfect.
You have 4 daughters, you don't have any sons. Who's going to carry on your legacy?
Well, my daughters, for sure, because the blood is being the family, is in the daughter's blood, you know. That's no question about yeah, the sons, they're gonna come and they're gonna have the blood from the daughter and the blood for the family. My daughters not be involved too much in the martial art, but they know the self-defense. They come into me and say, hey, Daddy, can we do some class, you know, just kind of review the self-defense? I say, yeah, let's do it.
You've already accomplished so much. You just had another fight this year, but what else do you hope to accomplish for the rest of your life?
Well, like I say, you know, it's just every time you change your priority. My priority is not to be a fighter, but if someone knocking my door, you never know. I'm not looking for a fight, but my priority now is running my association. You know, it's all over the whole world. You know, is it what my father started? You know, with the good teachers. You know, make sure we teach the self-defense, the competition, make everybody feel comfortable, enjoy the class, you know. At least the time, you know, I used to say this, the only time you forget your bills is the time you're training. And then you forget your problems, your bills, you know, somebody sick at home. That's amazing. You know, you know, a lot of sport, they give it to you, this feedback, you know. But in Jiu-Jitsu, the one I be involved, I feel this right away, you know. Sometimes we train for 1 hour, you just forget all the problems we have. Of course, everything coming back later, but that's the ways you recharge your battery, your energy for the next 24, 48 hours.
It was a great day filled with a lot of knowledge from Royler, both on and off the mats. Now, with all the work done, Royler kindly treats me and the rest of the crew to one of his other favorite pastimes.